Well, I'm a firm believer that if we don't write our story, someone's going to either write you in a different way or write you out or get your story incorrect. And I've seen some things over the years and gone, no, that's not actually correct. And that wasn't the reason why I wanted to solely write the book. It was really based on that I'd experienced a lot. And people kept saying to me, Angie, where's your book? It's very a book time right now. Everybody's kind of writing their story. And so somebody said to me, I went onto your website and I didn't see a book. And I thought, well, you're not going to see a book from me because I leave that to those authors over there. And then it got me to thinking, it is time. And that's when I sat down with somebody and she said, you know what, as a dyslexic person, you don't have to write it. You could just transcribe it into a recording and then you can just publish that way. That didn't work for me. I had to write the story, one letter, one word at a time and just tell it. And that's why I thought, yeah, it's time.
I want this to be a positive piece, but there's no positive without negative. Your moment in hospital, draining fluid from your brain, the most difficult moment in your life?
Yeah, that was a time when you don't plan for sickness and you don't know what you're going to do. You hear about other people's sickness and you think, there but for the grace of God go I. And then when I got pregnant with my last child, the fluid went to my brain and I lost the vision on my right side and this side was going. And it was a time when I went, whoa, wow, and it wasn't a quick sickness, it was a long sickness. This was a year of going in and out of Maudsley, having the fluid drained off my brain. And the pain, when I say the pain, I just wanted to die. I was like, come on, God, man, stop it. There's no need, is there? Because when you take the fluid off your brain, there's a dry brain that is the same sort of pain as the fluid with the brain. It just softens as the fluid builds up. And when the fluid builds up again, you got to go back to drain it off. That experience for me was like, I love life. When someone says, I got things to do. When you're lying on your bed and every day is dark for nearly a year, every morning I wake up, I see the light, I think, keep going. I'm never going to give up that feeling that life is giving back to me.
You said that chapter 30 in the book, Daddy's Girl, was the most difficult for you to write.
Oh man, to write about my dad. Every time I started writing, it was like my dad, and I said, you know what, this book is going to have to go without my dad being in it. And I remember sending it to a friend of mine who's an author, Beverly East, and she read the book. She goes, love the book, Ange, but where's your dad? And I was like, come on, man, don't expect me to write that. This is too close. And she goes, you're going to regret the day you didn't write this story about your dad. So I tell you what you do. You go back in the room and you sit by that computer and you write your chapter. And I wrote the chapter, tears just gushing every time I kept coming back to the memory. And I finished it and I sent it to her. I said, this is it. And she went, how do you feel? I said, I feel great. Because I would kick myself if I read this book and thought, where's my dad in this story? A dedicated chapter to him, because he was worth that.